Somewhere I Belong, Chapter 9, Part 2. I'm not gonna lie, I've got a lot on my mind, he said as he sat back. Part of me is trying to get home, and the other part of me wants to stay here. You sound like a fickle. I must say you are in quite a pickle, she said as she put a hand on the human's shoulder. Tell me about it, he said with a sigh. I have no idea what to do, he said as he let out another sigh. Zecora scratched her chin and thought for a moment. I just need a quiet place to think things out. Zecora perked up at the human's words, and a smile spread across her face. Follow me, and you will see a place your mind can be at ease, she said as she got to her feet. Isaac looked at the mare in confusion as she withdrew a long brown cloak that covered her striped body. Isaac got to his feet and followed the zebra back out into the dark forest. Princess Luna discreetly made her way through the small town in search of the human. She had cast an illusion spell that changed her coat color to a bright teal and kept her wings hidden beneath her cloak. As she walked through the busy town, she accidentally knocked into a gray Pegasus mare. Luna noticed the mare had a brown messenger bag over her shoulder. Sorry, ma'am. No, the fault was ours. We were so busy looking for someone that we weren't watching where we were going, she said as she helped the Pegasus to her feet. It's all right. Were you looking for your special sun pony? She asked with a smile, causing Luna to blush. No, we do not have a special sun pony, she said in a low tone. Oh, sorry, I asked, Ditsy said with a sheepish grin. We hate to take up more of your time, but have you seen a tall creature with no fur on his body walking around? Oh, you mean Isaac? Luna's eyes grew wide at the name. Yes, that's his name. He went off to the Everfree Forest an hour ago. Luna looked at the mare in shock. Why in Equestria would he go there? To meet with Zecora for a hangover cure. Zecora. She is the potion maker, is she not? Yep. Just follow the path and you'll be there in no time, Ditsy said with a smile. We thank thee. Luna's coat returned to its normal color. The princess spread her massive wings and took flight towards the forest. Ditsy's eyes twitched as her brain put the pieces together. As Luna soared through the skies, she thought about the dream the human's mind had created. Why would he dream up something like that? Who were those two other humans? As protector of the night, it's my duty to protect my subjects, she thought as she reached the edge of the forest. His dreams were just like mine. Isaac followed the zebra through the dark forest, keeping his hand on the handle of his knife in case of an emergency. Zecora pushed aside some vines to reveal a crystal blue waterfall pouring into a pond that had a small island in the center. This place is much better than a bed. Take all the time you need to clear your head, she said with a smile. Isaac nodded and made his way to the small island. He sat Indian style and put his hands on his legs. He let out a deep breath and allowed his mind to wander freely. Isaac found himself in a barren wasteland, where a familiar form was waiting for him. The figure was the same height as the human, wore the same attire, and had the same dark brown hair. The difference was the figure was wrapped in shadow, and its eyes were glowing bright red, unlike Isaac's crystal blue eyes. Long time no see, whelp, the figure spat out. I'm just here to talk. Finally, you start listening to reason. No, I'm here to say I'm staying. The dark figure looked at the man in confusion. What? They're good people, or ponies in this case, he said in a calm tone. Exactly, they're ponies, and you even slept with one. I was drunk, and yet I don't feel bad. The figure walked forward and slammed his fist into Isaac's face. Isaac stood there with a blank look on his face as he bled from his mouth. How can you say that? Eventually, humanity will reach out among the stars and explore new worlds. Humanity will have to repopulate and expand their race. I'm just a man ahead of my time, he said with a smile. The figure looked at him in confusion and rage as he let out another barrage of fists that impacted on the man. What will the others think? He yelled. They're not here. They were never there for me. And now that I finally find some friends who actually give a damn about me, you suggest that I abandon them? He said as he held his ground. How could they possibly care about a coward like you? The figure said as he continued to beat the human. The image of a group of ponies and a dragon appeared before he felt himself fade into darkness. Isaac heard a faint scream and snapped back to reality. He opened his eyes to see Zecora looking back towards the path. 3 fillies came charging out with tears in their eyes. Isaac rushed over to them and stopped next to the zebra. What happened? We were going to Zecora's hut to see if she could help us get our potion-making cutie marks. We know she likes this place, so we made our way here," Scootaloo said as tears formed in her eyes. "But She was cut off as the group heard a loud growl coming from the bushes. The zebra and the human turned around to see a lion with bat wings and a scorpion tail glaring at them. "Is that a manticore?" Isaac said in disbelief. He looked behind him to see the 3 fillies cowering in fear. Isaac let out a breath and withdrew his knife. "Zecora, take the girls and get out of here. I'll keep this thing busy." "Have you gone mad?" she said as she looked at the human. "There's no time to argue. Go," he said as he held his knife up and got into defensive position. "We'll bring back help," Applebloom said as the fillies and the zebra ran off into the bush. The large manticore looked at the group and felt something hard hit its face. The creature looked back at the human, who was holding another rock. "I'm over here, Furball," he said as he raised his knife. The beast charged as Isaac ran towards the beast. Princess Luna made her way through the strange forest until she reached the hut. Even though she was Princess of the Night, this forest still gave her unsettling memories. Not too far from here stood the castle where the elements of harmony had defeated Nightmare Moon and had saved her from herself. As she was about to knock on the hut, she heard the rustling from the bushes just ahead of her. She focused her magic and prepared herself for whatever may be lurking in the brush. She was shocked when she saw the zebra and 3 fillies stop in front of her. "Princess Luna, you've got to help us," Applebloom yelled. "What's wrong?" "Our friend Isaac is keeping a manticore busy and—" "Where?" she yelled. "Just up ahead in a clearing," Sweetie Belle said. "Go inform Twilight Sparkle. I will go and aid the human," the dark alicorn said as she ran down the path. The fillies and the zebra looked at one another and ran back towards the town. Twilight and her friends were in a stalemate over Isaac. Twilight let out a sigh and got to her feet. "Okay, maybe I overreacted to you and Isaac sleeping together, Dash." "You think?" Rainbow said as she cocked an eyebrow. The group was interrupted by Zecora and the 3 fillies barging through the door. "What's up, guys?" "Isaac, help, Manticore, Princess Luna, Everfree Forest," Applebloom said as she tried to catch her breath. The ponies looked at one another in shock and quickly got to their feet. Spike belched out a letter and skimmed it. "Spike, there's no time for that now," Twilight yelled. Spike held up the letter and the mayor's eyes watered at the contents. "Change of plans. Off to the hospital," Rainbow yelled as she flew out the door, with the other mayors following close behind. Isaac dodged the beast's attack and sliced its arm. The beast let out a roar of pain and swiped the human with its tail. Isaac dodged the blow and jumped back from the beast. The manticore charged the second time and made its claw connect with the human's right arm. Isaac let out a cry of pain as he felt the beast's claws tear his arm. Isaac randomly lashed out with the knife in his left hand and felt it connect with the manticore's hide. The beast reared back in pain and agony at the wound the human inflicted on it. Isaac smiled as he looked at the injured beast. The manticore was about to strike the human with its tail, but was knocked aside by a blast of blue energy. Isaac turned his head to see the dark alicorn with her hands and horn glowing with a magical aura. The dark alicorn raised her hands, sending the beast away from the human. Luna hurried over to the human who was on a knee clutching his arm that was bleeding heavily. "Are you all right?" she asked with worry in her voice. "Yeah, thanks to you," he said with a smile. Luna's hands glowed and she put them on the human's right arm. "Hold still, we will." Luna was cut off as Isaac pushed her aside and outstretched his arms. Luna looked in horror as the manticore's tail impaled the man. Isaac let out a cry of pain as the manticore lifted him off the ground and threw him against a nearby tree. Luna's eyes glowed with rage and magic. She lifted the creature off the ground and sent it flying into a patch of trees. Luna heard the creature's spine snap against the hard wood and hurried over to the injured human. Luna looked at Isaac and realized he had been poisoned and he was losing a lot of blood. The alicorn took the human in her arms and teleported them to Ponyville Hospital. "This one needs medical attention," she yelled using the Royal Canterlot voice. The doctors and nurses took the human and placed him on a stretcher. "What happened?" the doctor asked as he looked at the princess. "Manticore attack. He's been poisoned and is losing blood," she said as she walked next to the doctors. The doctor looked at the human who was slowly losing consciousness. "Isaac, I know you're tired right now, but just hold on. What's your blood type?" the doctor asked as he tried to keep the human awake. Isaac tried to speak, but felt the poison taking hold. He slowly motioned to his right pocket. The nurse noticed and took out the black leather wallet. She looked through the paper bills and plastic cards until she came across his blood donor card. She glanced at it, and her heart sank.